With the release of Pokémon Go a few short weeks ago, Pokémon are impacting our lives like never before. With that in mind, what do you think it would be like if Pokémon were actually real? Let's talk about that. Pokémon Go released on July 6th of 2016, and now millions of people are running around their neighborhoods trying to catch them all. The augmented reality part of the game allows Pokémon to appear as though they are right there in front of you, and a GPS-style interface forces you to physically travel across the planet in search of the rarest Pokémon. People are getting out into the world, are socializing and interacting with strangers, and even getting into a little mischief because of this game. This app is the closest thing to real-life Pokémon, as far as I know, that we can experience, which is why I believe it is so popular. But let's go a step further and imagine a world where Pokémon truly exist. Pokémon was a huge part of my childhood. I have the games, I have the cards, I have the toys, I watch the TV shows, own some of the movies, and I still have most of that to this day. When Pokémon Go released, it was awesome. There's so much that we could think about when it comes to what it would be like for Pokemon to be real. So I'm hoping that in the comments, you'll leave me a comment and tell me what your own thoughts were. Right now, the closest thing we have is the app, Pokemon Go, that just came out. And so even though we really wish they were, Pokemon still just aren't real enough. When I was thinking about what it would be like for Pokemon to actually exist in our world, the first thing that came to mind is companionship. Many of the Pokemon that we love are based on real animals. You can see similarities between, say, Growlithe and a dog, or Pidgey and a bird, Caterpie and a caterpillar. These are obviously influenced by real animals, yet they have special abilities that go beyond anything that we can see and experience in the real world. So I think it would be very much like having a pet here in the real world. We love our dogs, we love our cats. Some people even go outside of that and get into the exotic. There are even people who hang out with lions and bears and all these things. And so I feel like Pokemon would be very similar, yet almost even more of a bond. Think about a dog, a well-trained dog in the actual real world. You give them certain commands and they know exactly what you're talking about. And you pick up on their behavior as well and can tell what they're up to, whether they're feeling bad or they're happy or excited. And I think Pokemon would be that on steroids. Secondly, I think that Pokemon could really bring change to our world for the positive. Diglett and Dugtrio, for one, could make awesome gardens and change the landscape and beautify the world. Also thinking about the electric type Pokemon who could potentially help us make our electricity development and usage more efficient. Another great example would be Chansey's in hospitals. The more hands you have, the more people who can help save lives is a wonderful thought. Just as Pokemon can be good for society, though, I think they can also realistically be a problem. What about the Squirtle Squad? This band of Squirtles teamed up to cause mischief within the town. Ghastly and Haunter and Gengar. What if they started manipulating our minds, or haunting us, or messing with our dreams? That's a scary thought. And then also Charizard. What if we had a Charizard incident where your Pokemon doesn't listen to you, decides to disobey orders, and causes lots of damage, maybe harms someone? In real life, animals get put down all the time, so how do we handle rogue Pokemon almost? The ones that go off on their own and start causing problems. Also, with Pokemon comes Team Rocket, or something similar to Team Rocket in our world. Already we have people who break the law all the time, so what's stopping them from using Pokemon to do the exact same thing? We would have to hope that in a world that includes Pokemon, there are enough good people to stand up to those who are inevitably going to use Pokemon for evil. And lastly, I think another great thing that would happen if Pokemon were real are the gyms and the tournaments, which would be really exciting because that would almost become its own sport. I can definitely see how people would get ultra competitive with their Pokemon, as they already do in Pokemon Go. You're capturing gyms and they're just stacking them up for, each team is just stacking those gyms up with Pokemon to defend it so that they don't lose that gym. I could see in the real world going to the point of filling entire stadiums to see people with the best Pokemon compete. There are a lot of similarities between the Pokemon world and the real world, and so they almost mesh hand in hand in a lot of ways. And so yeah, so those are 5 things from me, and I hope you'll leave a comment. You can tell me what your thoughts are on what it would be like if Pokemon were real. I really look forward to reading those, and I'm probably going to comment to as many as possible. You can check out all the other videos we've got going on. I hope you'll subscribe. I'm Cliff Langston. Thanks for watching.